Thank you. May I share the Zoom link? Maybe that's going to be practical for them if anybody wants to join immediately, instantly, if that makes sense.
Yeah, and then okay, because I'm gonna update the Google Doc. Actually, if you tell them the Google Doc that has the Zoom link and the YouTube link, so I'm gonna update that.
Io ti riprendo per la parte che fai.
I'm gonna share for-
Massimo ti restano. Poi vediamo se c'è un viaggio.
When I have to kick off the beginning, let me know and I'm going to start. Thanks.
All right.
Okay, I think the first presenter is supposed to start after introductions, right? Would that be a general introduction before, or just the presenter will be introduced, then it takes on the presentation?
Innocent, I'm not sure if it's me, but I can't hear you very well, like as if you were a bit far away from the microphone, but it's probably me.
Yeah, it was a little.
Okay.
It sounded like that for me.
Okay, my question was, before we start, is it that you are going to run a general introduction of everyone, or it's just the presenter that will be introduced, then he takes on his presentation?
Yeah, one by one. I'm going to present you right before your presentation for about a minute.
Yeah.
Oh,
I'll hand it
okay,
over
that's
to you.
fine.
Yeah. All right. So I'm gonna start letting people in. Basically, I'm gonna just start off quick announcement, introduce Aaron and Eduardo. Eduardo will give his welcoming, and then we'll announce each speaker one at a time.
Okay.
All right.
Thanks. Well, I think for the rest of us that are not presenting, everybody should be on mute once it is their time to present, at least. So, be honest. Thank you.
Hello, can everybody hear me?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yes, we are hearing you.
Thanks for joining.
Yeah. Thanks for joining. Just to be clear, we will not take questions from the audience. If you want to talk to the speakers, you can do that during the networking sessions.
Yeah, thank you. I just wanted to say good morning or good afternoon.
Well, appreciate it. Good afternoon to you.
Quindi devo spiegare quando ne succede, sì, mi spiace, ma questo è stato un po' una cosa non prevista. Perché purtroppo diciamo, cioè, sono degli standard di compagnia che noi non possiamo modificare in base. Cioè, nel senso, abbiamo le sale meeting giù, nel caso che
All right. Sending one more message on WhatsApp. Make sure everyone is aware. Okay. Some more people coming in. Some more people coming in.
Yeah, same there.
Yeah, so I guess we'll wait a little
It's
bit.
good. It's good. We'll let the class get in. Yes.
Yeah. All right. Let's go ahead and get started. So, want to thank everyone for joining us. We realize some of you, it's the afternoon. If you're in Africa, Europe, Middle East, perfect timing for you. If you're elsewhere, then good evening or good morning. We do have people joining us from East Asia, Southeast Asia. We have the US as well. And of course, our main audience for this session, people coming from the European, Middle Eastern, and African time zones. So thank you all of us for joining us. I'm Scotty Shaw. I'm one of the community organizers for the Harvard Business School online community. I'm also the founding president of Tech Tree Root, which is an education company. And obviously, I'm not the only one working on this. I'm simply running the backstage and making sure that the tech tools work properly for everyone. The 2 stars of today's show in terms of moderation and the 4 stars in terms of speakers, we have Eduardo Aaron Yamuaru. And then for our speakers, we also have Enio Tashoti, Dr. Enio Tashoti. We have Manal Rafiq, Dr. Innocent Ugoke, and Giuseppe Stiliano. And we're going to go ahead and turn it over to the moderators, Eduardo and Aaron. Go ahead and take us away.
So first of all, I want to thank Scotty, and I want also to remind all the community how we got to know each other. We crashed at Connect 2023, and since there was a very good alchemy from many points of view, in terms of profession, in terms of agenda, in terms of human aspects. So first of all, I want to thank Scotty Shaw for beginning and kick off this, which represents the first collaboration between America and Europe at Harvard Business School Online. I want to thank the community of Harvard Business School Online to trust this project and to allow us the opportunity to interconnect 2 important countries across the world in order to reinforce the power of the agenda. I am Eduardo De Paulis, founder and first organizer of Italian delegation of Harvard Business School, Rome chapter. I work for the Italian Ministry of Economics and Finance in the Department of Mission and Evaluation of Public Expenditure. More specifically, I'm working for the European Commission project concerning the new set of rules of the European Commission. In January of 2023, the European Commission had adopted a new set of rules concerning how all the European countries need to follow up what is called technically the reference trajectory to reduce the public debt in order to reach out the European Commission goal of the 60% defined by the Stability and Growth Pact. This very important set of rules has the aims to remodulate the agenda of all the European countries in order to minimize the debt, which still remain a very important problem for the European zone. At the same time, the same problems represent a very big rock for the American country, because nowadays still the debt in terms of gross domestic product is roughly the 128% of the gross domestic product. What's the biggest difference between the European Commission and America? European Commission wants to reduce the debt using what is called next expenditure PET. It means in order to reduce the debt, we need to minimize the next expenditure PET. On the other side, White House and Federal Reserve works directly on the variable of the debt. Indeed, at the end of every year, they remodulate the debt for the amount which going out from the ceiling fixed by the White House and Federal Reserve at the beginning of the capital budgeting year. So, and though the countries are different, America on one side and European on the other, the core problem of the institutional agenda is the same: minimize the debt. The American administration said that by 2023 the agenda wants to minimize the expenditure of roughly $22 trillion, reaching out a record track in terms of next expenditure PET. What is extremely important concerns the fact that America and Europe have the same shared agenda: minimize the debt. We know at Harvard Business School online, and we saw how tremendously important is the revenue side, because entrepreneurs and companies represent the growth of tomorrow. But nowadays, the core of the agenda in the European Commission and America is not represented by the revenue side, but is represented by the expenditure side, because both White House on one side, European Commission on the other, want to minimize the debt, working on the public expenditure PET. Due to my institutional role and due to the power of Harvard Business School online, which interconnect America and Europe and create and raise up discussion with leaders across the world in many sectors, I do trust that this collaboration between Europe and America can take off from tomorrow with one unique and shared goal: maximize the gross domestic product, and according to the shared agenda of America and Europe, minimize the public debt. Thanks again, Scotty Show. Thanks again, Harvard Business School Online, to trust this project. Eren, here you are.
Thank you very much, Eduardo. Very valuable insights and a unified message. Thank you so much for this, all the work you are doing. We really appreciate that. You add a real big value to this community. Hi, everyone. Welcome to the Harvard Business School Online Communities International Experts Forum. Inspired by the TED Talks concept, today's event brings together leaders from East, West, and the Americas. As Scotty mentioned, we have two more events going on today as well. These leaders are going to be sharing their experience in education, business, science, technology, and creativity. Also, a special thanks to our producers, Rosario Ariza Garcia, Ting Xiao Ho, Eduardo De Paulis, and also again, Scotty Shaw, as well as to our speakers and participants. We are also live on YouTube, by the way, right now, and we will have breakout rooms after the second presentations, and you will be able to ask your questions there, and this is going to take around 15 minutes in the breakout rooms. So let's dive into a day of inspiring ideas and insightful conversations. Our first speaker is Ennio Tasciotti. Dr. Ennio Tasciotti is the founder and director of the Human Longevity Program at IRCCS San Raffaele and the professor of biotechnology at San Raffaele University. Previously, he led the Department of Nanomedicine and founded Centers for Biomimetic Medicine and Musculoskeletal Regeneration at Houston Methodist Hospital. A pioneer in biomimetic medicine, his work focuses on harnessing the immune system for organ and tissue regeneration. He has authored 180 research papers, holds 12 international patents, and his research garnered over 100 million media views globally. He has also been included in the top 1% of the most influential scientists worldwide by Stanford, that ranks over 10 million scientists every 5 years. Today, Ennio will talk about bridging gaps, public-private partnerships in healthcare research. Over to you, Ennio.
Thank you so much, Aaron, for the introduction, and welcome to everybody that has either woken up very early or that has put aside the plans for the weekend to join us. I'm gonna get there. Of course, as you could tell from the introduction, I'm a scientist. I've worked in biomedical research and healthcare research pretty much for the past 25 years. And I want to share today with you exactly how translational research and medicine work, and why the public-private partnership is so important for the success of this particular area of medicine. Obviously, for a lot of you who are not familiar with the concept, I gotta walk you through what are the main stakeholders and the main steps that we're gonna walk through in this presentation. And so starting from the top right corner, we have all the research laboratories, research centers that develop the idea and hypothesis, and that carry on all the research findings. And then there are the tech transfer and licensing area, where really the innovation discovery is protected and somehow valued. And finally, there is the hospital and clinical part, where the development of the pipeline and the clinical trial happens. And finally, if all of the previous have been successful, you get to the regulatory side, where you get approved and you move into human diseases. So you understand that for every single product that you use in the clinical setting, this has been the process that they've done, and that really applies to different areas of healthcare, from prevention to early diagnosis to the development of new treatments and of personalized healthcare approaches. And so if you understand how now the innovation process works, I'm going to show you in details what I call the cycle of innovation, which obviously starts with patient care, where these arrow points, because patient care is at the center of everything that we care about in the biomedical research area. And what happens is that when you work in a hospital setting, working with doctors, well, they identify the need, they identify the problems, they identify the voids in the clinical space. And that inspires us in the research setting to do the lab discovery. And so to generate ideas and solutions and convert these ideas into a prototype. The prototype is then tested in the preclinical setting into an animal in a research lab. And then at that point, you start, if also that step is successful, you move towards manufacturing. And so you start converting that idea, that notion of innovation towards a product or a service. And that part is now very complex. It's what I call the valley of death here, because from the moment a scientist publishes a paper to the point, and so this makes a discovery, to the point that that discovery becomes available to the patients, there is a very long and perilous path, which I call the valley of death, because there are like several steps where this can fail. And I'm going to try to convince you today that in order to improve the success rate of clinical innovation, in order to survive the death valley, it's essential to rely on public-private partnership. And this is true for every single product, device, service, app that it's currently in use in medical care. So this is a new rule, a new suggestion that could revolutionize the way we bring technology advancements into the clinic. And the reason why we do all of this is the reason why we do research or why we do clinical work. We do it for the patients, and the patients are really at the center of everything we do. But in order to do that, we need to realize that also all patients are different, and that there is an incredible variability in terms of what are the needs and what are the characteristics of every single patient. Some scientists said that patients are like snowflakes. There is no one equal to the other, and that they all have structures and complexity that make them unique. And so complexity really is a key word in the world of biomedical research and healthcare innovation. And in order to address all of this complexity, remember how many different steps with how many different stakeholders. I'm going to try to describe to you what has been my experience in the past.
I'm not sure if it's only me, but I think we lost Ennio for a second. Still see his screen.
And we lost you.
I just messaged him, waiting for a response.
Yeah, I guess maybe he has connection issues.
Thank you for your patience, everyone. We are still waiting to receive a response from him. We will kindly ask for 1 more minute, please. Okay, thank you, everyone. So we are still trying to solve the connection problem, this technical issue with Ennio. In the meantime, we will be able to move to our second speaker. Our second speaker is, I'm really excited to introduce Manal Refik, Key Account Manager at MNK in Dubai, with extensive experience in generating new businesses and designing high-tech solutions for major projects in the UAE. She is a key player in fostering relationships with clients and partners. Manal holds a degree from BITS Pilani and has completed advanced programs at Harvard, Cambridge, and Stanford. She co-organizes the Dubai chapter of the HBS online community, and she's a Google Women Tech Makers Ambassador. Today, Manal is going to talk about Beyond the Skyline, unleashing creativity to transform business. Over to you, Manal.
Hello, everyone. Thank you so much, Aaron, for an amazing intro. So I would just like to start with where there's a will, there's a way, right? So without further ado, thank you for joining me in today. It's an honor to speak to you as a representative of the Dubai chapter and share my passion for art, creativity, and the best city in this world, obviously, Dubai, that I proudly call my home. So, have you ever considered how a city's identity is shaped by its creativity and arts? Well, today I want to explore that idea that combines my profession as a key account manager with my personal passion for art and creativity. Well, in the bustling world of business, we often view creativity and art as separate from our professional journeys, right? And what if I told you that integrating artistic or design thinking into business strategies could revolutionize our approach to success? My idea is simple yet innovative, using the principles of art, design thinking, and creativity to drive business growth as well as innovation. So let me tell you a story. A few years ago, I had attended this fascinating exhibition that was held in Dubai. It was the world-known Expo. So Expo showcased various audiovisual technologies that could transform ordinary spaces into extraordinary environments. And one particular installation that really stood out was a room, right? A room where projections of historical Dubai scenes, it interacted with ambient sounds of the city. And as visitors moved through the space, the visual and the sounds, it just adapted, creating a dynamic, personalized journey through Dubai's rich history. So this experience was very eye-opening for me. It wasn't just about technology or about visuals. It was about storytelling, the emotional engagement, and the magical experience that this creates, right? I believe that integrating this kind of artistic creativity into any of the audiovisual projects or industry projects will enable us to craft experiences that really resonate deeply with the audiences. And it's not just about what we show and how we make people feel and engage with our content. So let's consider some more examples. Dubai, a city known for its striking skyline and innovative, youthful spirit, stands as a testament to the power of intriguing art as well as creativity into a normal day-to-day business, right? For instance, who here knows the Burj Khalifa? I believe each and everyone would be knowing, right? The iconic Burj Khalifa. It's not just a building. It's an emotion. It's an artistic marvel that has become a symbol of what Dubai is known for. And it's Dubai's ambition and creativity. This is a perfect example of how art and creativity can elevate a business concept into a global phenomenon. So in the world of business, creativity isn't just about making things look beautiful. It's about solving problems in novel ways, inspiring teams, driving engagement, right? So let's talk about companies like Apple and Tesla. They have also shown us that design and innovation are not separate from business success, but it's central to it. If you open up any of, it's not just about Apple devices, but recently while I was working, right, I wanted to just see some white papers online. And I must say, like, Apple white papers are the best in terms of design. And I have really taken some design tips from them. So they don't just use these artistic skills just to make a mobile phone, but to even make their white papers, right? So research also shows that companies fostering a creative culture are more likely to achieve higher levels of innovation and financial performance. Now, a study by Adobe Foundation found that companies with a strong focus on creativity were 3.5 times more likely to be perceived as innovative and 2.7 times more likely to experience revenue growth. Moreover, we see this in Dubai in action. The Dubai Design District, Museum of the Future, and Sharjah Art Foundation. These are just few of the prime examples of how investing in art and creative industries fuels economic growth and cultural development. As someone who calls Dubai as my home, as someone who is born and raised in UAE, I feel Dubai is very close to me, and I've witnessed, right, firsthand how the commitment of UAE towards creativity has transformed it from a desert city to a global hub of innovation. The fusion of art and business here, it's not just a concept, it's a reality that really drives our city forward. So, how can we all apply this to our own lives and businesses? Well, start by embracing creativity in every aspect of your work. You can encourage diverse thinking, explore new perspectives. Don't just be afraid to challenge status quotient. Whether you're managing accounts, you're designing any products, you're working in finance, or you're leading teams, infuse creativity into your strategy. And this can really lead to groundbreaking results. And I've felt that within my own industry as well, in the audiovisual industry where I'm working in. Well, in conclusion, I would just like to say that integrating art and creativity into our business practices, it's not just an innovative idea, it's a proven strategy for success. And as we move forward, let's take inspiration from Dubai's vibrant, creative, innovative landscape and apply these principles to our professional journeys. Thank you.
Thank you, Manal. Thank you so much. This was so inspiring. So I have so many questions to ask as well. So first we are going to get Ennio back, and then I have so many questions to ask during the breakout sessions. So thanks once again, Manal. And let's go back to Ennio. Ennio, so sorry that you had these technical problems, but we are still with you. So we cannot wait for you to continue, please.
I'm so sorry for the technical problems, and I gotta keep my camera shut because it's what makes the system crash anyways. I'm gonna start from where we started. I just presented to you at the beginning of my talk why healthcare research is such a complex problem, because it addresses complex issues, and the entire process it's very complex. And so I'm going to share my adventure in this area, my path. With the 15 years that I spent in the US, the Houston Methodist Hospital, where I chaired the Department of Nanomedicine and then the Department of Regenerative Medicine, within the context of the largest medical center in the world, the Texas Medical Center, over 60 medical institutions, the Texas Medical Center, is a collection of buildings in the front, the cities in the background. You can tell it's the skies for medical research. Over 125,000 employees, so pretty much a small city, 10 million patients, and almost $25 billion in gross domestic production, meaning that there is a lot of money that revolves around research. Why this place is so incredible? Because it was built in phases, having a big vision in mind. So the medical center is this area in the upper left corner, but then we developed in 4 stages these other campuses. The first one was the Texas Medical Center. As I said, it's 5 square kilometers footprint, so it's a huge footprint, host amazing institution, #1 cancer site in the world. And all of this was put together, if you can believe, in less than 70 years. So it was initiated in the late 50s by a group of visionary oil and gas people in Houston. And now this is still a thriving epicenter of the world research. Then we created this incubator accelerator fully devoted to life science. And this is where the public-private partnership already starts to take shape, right? Because now we're talking about entrepreneurship in the scientific area. And so this is where we recruited, form, foster, and fund the best companies able to change the future of healthcare. And we did it by providing services in different areas like financial, scouting, and everything that has to do with money. And so with investors, everything that had to do with business intelligence, and a lot of strategic advisorship. And so by bringing and putting together a lot of different competences, a lot of different skill sets, we were able to foster this community, which eventually led to the creation of these 3rd installments, the Texas Medical Center Innovation Factory. And we called it a factory because that's where we brought in also industrial partners. And we started to collaborate with companies really throughout the world to really shape together the future of healthcare. And if you can look at the numbers, in less than 10 years, we accelerated over 200 companies, raised more than $5 billion, already exited the 8 companies. Again, we are now promoting the diffusion, the further creation of startup companies in the community. As I said, the factory had the goal of bringing big players. We're talking about big pharma here into this public-private partnership, and we did it in 3 main areas for the therapeutic molecules. So everything that has to do with a drug, a therapy, a treatment, that we brought in J&J, Johnson & Johnson, which created the J&J lab, an incredible facility of shared laboratories that are offered to researchers that want to develop new drugs. We did the same with Medtronic, another huge player in the medical device area, and the company created a huge facility with 3D printing, all the different mechanics lab, machine shops to put together the prototypes, to do rapid prototyping. And finally, in the area of robotic medicine and digital medicine, we partnered up with ABB Robotics and with AT&T as a digital data provider to develop all the suites of robotic tools in the medical field and digital apps. And finally, this is what we just opened at the TMC Helix Park, a world-class campus, another huge space, big investment. And in this case, we really put together public-private partnership. This is all about public-private partnership. So we do interactions with medicine, science, academia, regulatory. So we have FDA presence. So we brought the industry, but we brought commercial entities. And the idea and the hope is that by creating this environment and by putting everyone literally, not say under the same roof, but in the same space, we can accelerate the time that goes from the idea and the first scientific innovation to the product. So the problem is who pays for all of this, right? There's a lot of money involved. And obviously, a lot of research starts with government funding because government provides research for all the drugs, for all the rare diseases, the diseases that still do not have a cure. And that's very important to support the health and to improve the quality of life. But at the same time, government funding really ignites further investments from private entities, whether it's a philanthropic support or the investment of a commercial partner. Well, truly, government funding adds value by stimulating economic growth. And there are like several areas of funding and which totals up to $100 billion a year in funding in healthcare. But if we look at the number, and this is mostly federal, the National Institute of Health, government, the Department of Defense, the Department of Energy, the Department of Agriculture, several of these department promotes healthcare research. But if you look at the number of healthcare research, well, we truly spend over around 250 billion a year. So the remaining 150 billions, well, that is the contribution of the private sector. So truly, research should be for us really the coming together of different interests for a common goal. And this is particularly true in healthcare in the digital area, because all of the digital solutions in the healthcare, it's something really that is coming up in the past 5 years where this public-private partnership was already initiated. And so the results are probably the best examples that I can give you of how valuable is this approach. And this is true in all the areas in which digital medicine, artificial intelligence can promote a breakthrough in healthcare. So we're going to look at all of these 5, and you'll see that public-private partnerships are at the epicenter of all of this. The first one is using digital approach, big data, AI to efficiently diagnose and reduce error. Recent statistics say that that's actually even more than 10% of all US deaths are caused by human medical error. And so there is now this partnership that was initiated by Cambridge, by MIT, with Bristol Myers Squibb and the Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation. So you understand now money is coming from a lot of different areas, and this has been funded over 250 million to do digital pathology. So it's now a computer that reads your histology slides when you have cancer or cardiovascular or whatever other disease you have, which are much more precise diagnosis. Same use of the AI and digital approach in the development of new treatments. It costs over $2 billion to develop a new drug. Using AI, you can reduce the cost by 90% and increase also the success rate. And this is what BioXcel Therapeutics is doing. They have been doing it also with the help of the US government, and they have raised close to $1 billion to these days in terms of research cost. Something also for the patient experience. How can we improve the quality of the patient journey? Well, 96% of the patients complain about the fact that they are not accompanied in their therapeutic journey. Well, Babylon, a new company, again, that has raised over $600 million, has now the ability to work with the national health services. So it's fully integrated with the national healthcare providers to provide the faster access to healthcare. And finally, well, there is also data mining and data managing. You can imagine we create trillions of data points. How do we navigate all of this? This is one of the largest funds. It's over $1 billion in the digital area, and this company, Tempus, is trying to map everything that has to do with clinical data in order to identify better treatments. And last but not least, in the robotic area also, there are like new incredible developments that have been born out of this public-private partnership and that have allowed to advance research and create valuable technologies and usable products in a much faster way. So definitely we have learned a few lessons from these experiences. Now it's the time to apply these lessons. And definitely what we've learned is this path to innovation led by public-private partnership is not a very straightforward path. It has a lot of intricacies, and there are also a number of obstacles. Obviously, the first obstacles is that if you can think of academia and a pharmaceutical company, they obviously have different goals and priorities. A scientist wants to publish, a scientist wants to promote the growth of and career of the students. The company maximizes profits. And so how do you align those two? Intellectual property and data sharing also, that is another obstacle, obviously. This is a key step for everything that has a commercial interest and value, but requires a lot of finesse in terms of negotiating with academia. Another problem is the regulatory and compliance barriers. It's something that the pharmaceutical industry know very well, and that is completely unknown in the academic or I would say like even the preclinical setting. And so very often what is done in the research lab is done not keeping in mind how difficult it would be to then cross the regulatory and compliance barrier, while instead all the pharmaceutical companies have this in mind first. If it's easy to do the compliance and regulatory part, then we'll do it. Otherwise, we'll not even tackle that problem. So also there, a big obstacle. And finally, and additionally, funding and resource allocation, because the way resources are allocated in the academic, in the public sector, and in the private sector are fundamentally different, and very often, especially in Europe, where there is a much larger domination of the public and government, also in the research area, well, that creates some misalignments. And last but not least, all the trust and governance issues that can be generated by the fear that pharmaceutical companies might have the different priorities in mind. And to close, I try to give like 5 solutions for each one of those 5 challenges, the differing goals and priorities. Well, definitely we need to do a better effort at aligning research projects with hospital needs. It's what I showed you in the very opening, that's the cycle of innovation. Everything starts from patient care, from what are the voids in the clinical space, and that's what should initiate scientific research. And so the planning, the execution, and eventually the conclusion, what kind of final product should be made, it's something that should come out of this public-private conversation. Second challenge, the intellectual property and data sharing. Even here, coordination and communication is key. There are ways to manage how you plan, organize, what kind of stuff you need to do proper intellectual property, the tech transfer office. How do you find the right people for that? That has to be done and can be done better if we take suggestions and resources from the private sector. Third challenge, regulatory and compliance barriers. Again, the only ways to promote a common culture of experimental research and clinical trials. That is the only way, and the only way to do it, because of the huge costs associated, is to do it through the sponsorship of pharmaceutical companies. So again, private sector. A fourth challenge, funding and resource allocation. Well, one of the big issues in allocating funds, for example, by the private sector to public research is the conflict of interest, is the fear that these funds could alter the unbiased judgment of doctors and scientists. Well, there are ways to control that and to mitigate the connected risks. And again, the final one, how do we address the challenge of trust in governments? Well, governance. Well, I believe that the best way is to really involve and recruit doctors and scientists into the decision-making process so that we can objectivize the criteria that we use to identify the real goals and the real objectives, and that should be done based on the clinical need. And so a few closing thoughts, right? I mean, we began this journey talking about the future of healthcare as something that really relies heavily on innovation, on technology, on discoveries, and that is true, but it is not the entire picture. The picture involves also a very complex path towards the final development. And in order to do that, we need to bridge the gap between the public and private sector, because only that partnership can turn today's challenges into tomorrow breakthrough. And I leave you with these closing thoughts. Thank you for your attention.
Thank you so much, Ennio. That was a fascinating presentation. Big projects, big challenges.
The only one that matter, Aaron, big
Exactly.
projects and challenges.
Exactly. But when the big solutions can be found, it's going to be a great impact, a big impact for humanity. So thank you so much for working on these things. I had so many questions to ask you as well. So before going to the breakout sessions, if anyone wants to turn on their cameras, we could take a picture. We can do it now, if it's possible, while Scotty is going to take us to the breakout rooms. Over to you, Scotty.
All right, yeah, I'm setting up the breakout rooms right now. So yeah, go ahead, and everyone who is willing to turn on your camera is going to do that. And yeah, I guess Aaron, when you're done taking the pictures, I will open up the breakout rooms.
Okay. I just take one. Thank you, everyone. Okay, so we will try again just before the second breakout rooms, but it's fine for now. Thank you so much. Yes, please.
All right. So there's 4 breakout rooms now. If you look in your Zoom, somewhere you should see a red little bubble with white numbers saying, it says breakout rooms. And there's 4 of them right now. So think of it like this. We're in one big common room, and there are 4 side rooms. So you can go into the side rooms to talk to each other if you want to connect with our speakers and ask them questions, or if you want to take a quick break, grab some coffee, or, if you want to stay here and chat, you can do that. So do what you want. Feel free to go wherever you want. And we will reconvene in about 15 minutes. That should be about 5:10 Central European Standard Time.
Scotty, can I ask you a question?
Yeah.
The different breakout rooms are for different topics, or how do we navigate them?
So if you go to the breakout rooms list, you can see where everyone is. We don't necessarily have any specific setup for this. Yeah, it's just side rooms for people to chat for now. Discuss whatever you want.
If you like, we could start
Hey,
by
Scotty?
getting Manal to one of the rooms if possible, and also Ennio could join one of the rooms. Like Manal could go to room 1, and Ennio could go to room 2 if that's okay for everyone. And then if anyone wants to ask questions, they could move to the related rooms.
Yeah, I think that's more appropriate so that those who want to engage the presenters can talk to them directly and get more, connection from there.
Great.
Yeah, so everyone should be able to see on the list as people move to other rooms. There will be a delay as you're joining, about maybe 5 seconds. So once you select a room, you go there, and then you'll be able to chat with people there.
Do you have any questions to Ennio? He's in the room 2, and Manal has joined the room 1. If you have any specific questions to our speakers, please join the related rooms. That's great. There are 4 people in room 2 now. Wonderful.
Yeah, I'm gonna stay in this room just to
Okay. And I'm
the big
joining
room just to make sure everything continues to run smoothly.
you.
Hello, guys.
Hi, Scotty. So I don't see the room 1, room 2.
You need to go to the breakout rooms list. You want to join the room with Manal or Dr. Tashoti?
Wow, that was great. We had a great conversation with Manal in the breakout room, and I can see that there are 6 participants in Enyo's room number 2. Wonderful.
Yeah, I would have joined one of the rooms, but I'm not sure. If I leave,
Yeah, it's also technically concerning. Exactly.
yeah, that was one issue for me. It was like, wait, I can't test this until the event because otherwise I have to say, hey, everyone, do a Zoom session with me so I can test. But then, now it's like, all right, maybe, I don't know, maybe later. But it was just like, I should probably just stay in this room in case if I go to a breakout room, does that crash everything?
Might be crashing, yeah.
Yeah. But I want to say the way you describe Dubai makes me wish I could go there right now. But it's like,
Please do
wait,
come.
I would be on the plane if I were, who's gonna run the Americas session while I'm on the plane next time?
You are always welcome.
Thanks. I will say I did not realize there was a World Expo in Dubai, and then I looked it up and realized, oh, of course,
Yeah,
because it was supposed to be 2020, and then obviously doing 2022,
because of
that's
the
when I was
COVID and
busy
stuff.
trying to rebuild everything from the pandemic. So I stopped paying attention to the world until
Yeah,
just the past several months. I started thinking about the world again. So it was actually really interesting to. I've always had a very international mindset, but I would say from 2021, yeah, for all of 2021 and 2022 and most of 2023, I had a very insular mindset. Not that I was trying to shut out the world or ignore the world. It was just kind of I had to focus on rebuilding everything. So then when you said the World Expo in Dubai, I was thinking, I went to the one in Shanghai in 2010. Why not go to the one in Dubai? Oh, that's right, the timing.
it was actually really life-changing, I can say.
Oh, absolutely. Well, not just
Yeah, it was.
life-changing, I would say nation-changing.
Yeah, yeah, so true.
Yeah, because I feel like for a lot of countries, a World Expo or an Olympics, I'm trying to think. I guess a World Cup would be another example. At these 3 events, I'm sure there's more, but at least these 3 events are really great ways for countries to say, to the highest degree, not, I wouldn't say, hey, we've made it, but more, uh, it's kind of a before and after event, kind of saying, before the event, here's us,
Yeah,
and after the event, here's, it's a transition, kind of saying, here's what we're doing to get to this event, and here's what we're doing after, you know.
true. And it's one place where different countries are coming together and collaborating.
Yeah,
One place, in fact. Yeah,
yeah, because that would, World Expo, Olympics, World Cup. I don't think the FIBA Basketball World Cup is on that level yet. Trying to think what else there might be.
mm. And another thing is that I think in World Expo, it was not just about just elderly people or just a few segments of people enjoying, but from infants, from small children till the elderly, each and everyone enjoyed it. Like for everyone, it was something to remember for lifetime, I can say.
Yeah, true. Because
Yeah,
I was gonna say when you have stuff like G7 meetings, for example, that's more just, oh, okay, there's a
yeah,
G7 meeting, but that's mostly leaders, we can't just walk in and say, whoa, can I buy a $15 ticket or a $30 ticket for special access? World Expo, it's $15 maybe for one day, $30 for a season pass for multiple trips or something.
yeah,
Even then the Olympics would be a little tough because sometimes it is um that could be expensive, but the World Expo, it's much easier to, because you have, usually it's many months, it's much easier to say, hey, everyone, here's the World Expo for, a much cheaper ticket, because a lot of times people can just come back and then that's it. extra income.
Yeah.
Then, all right, the Olympics has 3 weeks. Actually, no, 2 weeks. And then, yeah, very much more limited admission.
Yeah. But it's just about different experiences, I think, in all of these events.
Yeah.
It looks like they are having a wonderful conversation at room 2, Scotty.
Yeah, no one is ready to come. I think you'll have to pull them all back in, Scotty.
Yeah, I'm sending a message now.
Mm.
The good thing is closing rooms gives them 60 seconds, so they have a little time to wrap up.
Mhm.
All right, 20 seconds, and then everyone will be back here. And then, yeah, we will go with Dr. Innocent Ugwoke, followed by Giuseppe Stigliano. All right, everyone, welcome back. We hope you enjoyed the networking breakout sessions. In fact, it seemed like it was so popular, I thought, oh, well, we can wait a little bit longer rather than come back right away. But we do want to make sure that our following speakers also get their time in the spotlight. So without further ado, let's move into the second session, or the second half of our session.
Welcome back, everyone. Our first speaker of the second part is Innocent Ugwoke from Nigeria. Dr. Innocent Ugwoke is a seasoned sales and marketing expert and a leading figure in African healthcare with over 15 years of international experience. Based in Lagos, he's focused on developing a connected healthcare infrastructure across Africa. He holds a doctorate in organizational leadership and management and executive MBA, and is an alumnus of the Founders Institute. Dr. Ugwoke also serves as the community organizer for Harvard Business School Online Africa chapter, and is passionate about community building and leveraging networks for professional growth. So, Innocent is going to be talking about optimizing alumni networks for growth. Over to you, Innocent.
Thank you, Erin. And good evening, everyone. Good afternoon, depending on where you are talking to us from or listening to us from. So my name is Innocent, as he has introduced, and today I will be shedding more light on the importance of the alumni network. I hope I'm audible enough and everybody can hear me.
Yes, all clear.
Okay, thank you. So basically, as an individual, I have a very strong passion, for community development. And I will start my presentation with a short story. Back in 2018, when I finished my second business school course from Harvard Business School Online, I thought it as a duty to try to, continue the conversation with my classmates, because we know that the world today is a bit more connected than what it used to be before. And the uniqueness of alumni group is that it makes the education to be continuous, and it also opens up opportunities for you at the level of career. Even you can develop some personal relationships that becomes, something more in the future. So I have been able to manage this group, and it happens to be that that is the only alumni group for Harvard Business School Online in Africa. We are in Lagos, and I manage the African chapter. So I understand the importance of network, and I understand the importance of trying to cultivate that habit of building relationship, building the community, growing the community, sharing experience, and continuing the learning even after you have finished your courses. So this is why, to me, today I felt, yes, I know I have been in the healthcare industry for over 15 years. I could have said something about, healthcare, but I feel that, making people understand the value and the importance of alumni network, it will help us to connect better and be able to leverage, the platform more for our both professional, personal, and career growth. First, I will start with explaining what network means, and then try to give you the differences between actually networking and connecting inside the network, because they mean different things. Alumni network serves as a vital asset which enriches the lives of individuals while still boosting the reputation and success of the institution as well. So which means Harvard Business School Online have done a very good job by creating this platform in the first place. And we are also here, to continue to leverage that and to beautify it to our own benefit at the end of the day. First, I want to explain the difference between networking and connecting, because these terms are used interchangeably, but they mean different things actually, right? So while networking is a strategic process of creating and nurturing professional relationships, to achieve specific career or business goals, connecting is the act of deepening the personal relationships based on genuine interaction and shared interests or values. If you attend networking programs or networking events or networking activities, or being in the midst of 4,000, 5,000 network from your alumni, that is just basically networking. But where the magic actually happens is when you start connecting within that network, because it's at the level of connecting that you're able to get to know people more. They're able to get to know you, know your capabilities, and know the qualities that you have. And every other thing starts and continues from there. Business school alumni networks are valuable for continuous learning and knowledge sharing. Many associations offer, access to exclusive webinars, workshops, and continuing education programs. These, by virtue of being in that particular network, is an added advantage to you just by virtue of being present, being engaged, and being a member of the community. These are exclusive because it's only those who are among the alumni that have the opportunity, to leverage this, except if you are invited by an existing member. And in some of these, you are able to access platforms, opportunities, training, skill developments that would actually be paid for if you are not a member. So maximizing, the utility of the community is actually helping you to improve yourself and improve your access to a lot of other advantages, that are embedded. What are the key objectives on the personal level? Community building. Community building is very, very critical, especially in the world of business, because most of the things that we do in the world of business are interconnected. Today, you might be in healthcare and you're able to leverage somebody who is in the business of arts because you happen to have the same common, community where you engage. And when you are looking for someone in that space, at least, even if it is not the right person to be able to deliver what you need, they will be able to point you in the right direction. So that community is very, very important, in the life of any business person or any professional. This is one of the advantages that alumni networks offer you after you have attended, whether it's business school or any school of the sort, right? Professional development, especially at a particular level in your career journey, the networks help you to develop yourself even more. For example, when you meet, some people in your circle, in the alumni, in the community, you get challenged and you're able to also access some of the opportunities to be able to develop some skills that you need to become better at what you do, or to upskill yourself to be able to, meet up other higher goals, higher, even business opportunities and career opportunities. These stimulations most times come within the community and from the community, and those who are able to maximize it and leverage it and maximize it, become better for themselves, and they also are able to become more valuable to the community at large. Then organizational ties. Like I did say earlier, you could be in healthcare space, you could be in the IT space, But because of the community, you now have access to other professionals who are in the other organizations that may not be directly related to yours or may be completely different from what you do. This access helps you in terms of if you want to do something bigger in the future, you are able to, you have access to this place, you have access to that place. Instead of trying to, cultivate that afresh, you already have a community where you can easily say, but I know this person is good in IT, this other person is good in events management, the other person is an HR guru and can help me. Even when you want to launch a startup or something, you're able to leverage a lot of your networks, to be able to get what you need faster, quicker, more affordable, and even in a more friendlier way. Then career opportunities. At a particular level in your journey as a professional, you find out that at some point in time when you have been able to expose yourself within your network and develop a lot of connections within your network, you find out that even to look for a job might not be what you have to do all the time, because within your network where there are opportunities, it is easily shared internally. And those who are within the network and active in the network or in the community tend to, grab those opportunities without it going outside. So this also helps you to expose yourself to even more bigger opportunities. And because these people you have connected with them, they know you, they can talk about who you are in terms of personal character and other key values that you can deliver on an interpersonal level, which your CV might not be able to help you do. Then it becomes an advantage for you. So it is very, very important that we cultivate that habit of community and leveraging our networks. Now, on the professional development side, you have career advancement, like I said, mentorship and guidance. If you have some of your colleagues who are already doing what you hope to do in the future within the community, they can coach you, they can guide you, they can mentor you into becoming that superstar you are aiming to become, right? More easier, more in a more friendly atmosphere, and sometimes even more affordably. Even if they have to charge you, they will charge you as an alumni, not just somebody they have contacted them on LinkedIn or online to provide the service of skill. Then skill development. In the area of skill development, there may be some skills that you're aiming to, to be able to develop, but you don't even know how to start. And then you'll find some people within your community who are already excellent in that particular area. It will be easier for you to leverage them to upskill yourself and become better at what you do. These are the invaluable aspects of community building and being engaged within your network. And like I said, don't just network, try to connect. There are a lot of success stories about alumni network. For example, the Harvard Alumni Network records over 400,000 individuals, located globally that you can leverage. And this has made it easier for people to even relocate from countries to countries, get international jobs without the entire rigors of, doing it on your own. Just because you already have somebody who knows you, who you interact with, that can show you how. You cannot quantify the value that this brings to you as a professional along your career journey. Now, there are several practices that we need to leverage to be able to maintain our community, right? And these are like events and reunions. In August, in Lagos, we held our annual, should I call it, it's not annual, but we do have regular community engagements, community meetings, where we bring out all the alumni together, interact, share ideas, catch up on old gist, and then are able to create some presentations and, workshops and seminars for us to continue to keep the community, active, to learn, to co-learn as well, and also to share opportunities, because these are the things that, the community gives to you on a platter of gold. Then online platforms. Mostly we try to make sure everybody within our community is connected. We have a WhatsApp group, we have LinkedIn page where we continue to share ideas and continue to learn from each other as we continue to grow in both our careers, professionally and individually. Then the exclusive benefits, like I said, in most of all these gatherings is only the alumni, those who qualify as our members, that are actually allowed to come. But in some cases, we're opening up to even intending professionals who may want to come close to us, understand what we do, and also be challenged to do more in terms of improving themselves to become better. Today, communication is easy because we have email, we have WhatsApp groups, we have Telegram group, just to keep the community together and continue to share ideas and share information for our group. Like I said, there are a lot of digital tools that we can use to keep tabs with each other, to communicate across continents. and to keep, you know, that family community bonding, you know, alive as we grow. How do we continue to measure our values or our achievements as a community? You know, engagement metrics. When we have events, how many people attend? We try to keep record of that. After we have engagements, you know, feedbacks, you know, help us to improve so that in case we're organizing another event, we are able to like implement some of the observations from our members and then do better in the next one. Then career impact. We also try to talk among ourselves. The question is, within the interaction that we are having, what is actually happening to us individually and professionally? How many of our team members or our community members are able to get recommended for jobs, you know, by their community members, just because they know that they have the capacity to deliver on those. And these are some of the things that we can really say that are very, very unique to Alumni Network. And we try to do this because we know in the long run, it's going to help everybody and will continue to strengthen the community. And these also pushes us to even more engaging activities like, you know, community service programs. We try to run some projects for community service, you know, trying to give back to our community. Like in Harvard Business School Online, at least we do community challenges. And these community challenges try to pull people together, you know, brainstorm and be able to do things out of convention. And this also tries to give more people or some people, you know, more soft skills, more ability to be able to do things that originally they were not able to do, either by working as a group or even working in silo, but try to, you know, do something different from what you do every day and adding more value to yourself as you continue to develop as a professional. Then we support courses as well. And that community gives us a sense of belonging. There is nothing as good as knowing that, in this Lagos that I am, for example, or in Africa, which is over 54 countries, I can say that because of Harvard Business School Online, I am able to say out of the 54 countries, I have friends in 20 countries. And we can connect on a very personal level because we have a common community where we have known each other and been able to interact to a point where we can call the person a friend. So these are the, you know, unique values of being able to optimize your alumni network. There are a lot of trends. Globalization is very, very, very easy now because from your home, you can easily reach out to anybody from anywhere. And there won't be any of this unwelcome relationship because at least these individuals know that you're coming from a different platform, which makes everybody to feel at home, you know, talking to each other and trying to share ideas and share opportunities and support each other, especially when one is needing help for one thing or the other. And I will continue to recommend that across the continent, both here and outside, I recommend that we continue to try, you know, to cultivate that habit of community building, because community building is very, very important in us achieving that goal that we want to achieve. Sometimes the next job that you need as a professional might be just a phone call away to somebody within your alumni network. The HR of the next company that you're going to be interviewed tomorrow could just be somebody who have graduated from the school you've graduated. But if you're not active in the community or you don't have a platform where you leverage to be able to get that connection, then you'll be struggling. But if you know the value of this and you optimize it, that job could just be yours just by virtue of the person has known you have been able to study your capacity over time, even before the job opportunity came up. And it could also be that this person has known that you have the capacity to deliver on this role, and then the role comes out, and then you become the first person to be asked to. Are you interested in this? So this is, I encourage everybody to, you know, try to emphasize the need and understand the value embedded in optimizing the alumni network. In summary, I would say while you're networking, focus on expanding professional circles and achieving specific goals. Connecting is about building deeper, more personal relationships. Both are valuable, but they serve different purposes. They require different approaches. So balancing both networking and connecting can lead to more effective and rewarding professional and personal life. And I advise and encourage every one of us to try to be more active in their community and to continue to contribute to the growth of the community, because there's a lot more that we all have to gain on the personal, on the professional, on the career level. Thank you very much for listening.
Thanks, Innocent. Very, very, very valuable insights, a unique vision, And I really love the don't network, connect part. There will be lots of questions, especially from my side in the breakout room sessions. Now we come to our last speaker of the day, Giuseppe Stagliano, who is currently in London. He's the president at Spring Studios and a marketing professor at UCL School of Management. Giuseppe is a leading expert in marketing, management, and corporate innovation with over 20 years of international experience. As I said, he's based in London. He's building a career focused on keynote speaking, advisory roles, and lecturing at the top universities. He has served as CEO at 3 global agencies, worked with over 300 companies, and co-authored 3 influential business books with Philip Kotler. A frequent speaker in 30 countries, he's also a Forbes columnist, LinkedIn top voice, and member of the Harvard Business Review Advisory Council. In 2024, Thinkers 50 recognized him as one of the world's most inspiring leaders. So we are so excited for this session as well, our last session of the day. And Giuseppe, his presentation title is Only Do What Only You Can Do. Over to you.
Wow, Aaron, after this introduction, even I am curious to hear what I have to say. Thank you for that. Hi, everyone. Buongiorno. I'm Giuseppe. I'm Italian. I'm currently in Rome. I'm based in London, but currently I'm in Rome. I'm super excited to be here with you. Thanks for having me. I have a confession to make, which is hard to admit for someone like me who has been a CEO of 3 different businesses over the past 7 years. One day, October 15th, 2014, so 10 years ago, one day, I woke up and I realized one very hard to admit truth. I didn't want to be a leader. I didn't want to be a CEO. The reason was that during that time, we had been asked to talk about leadership. We were discussing a succession plan. So one night I couldn't sleep just because I started asking myself, would you want to be the number one? Would you want to be a leader? Would you want to be the CEO? And basically I realized that the answer was no. And this was hard to accept for me because until that point, I had worked hard to go in that direction. I had worked hard to get to the point where one day somebody would appoint me as a CEO. And I remember vividly one morning, I woke up, my mom was in my apartment. She was visiting me. And so she was like cooking some breakfast. I woke up, went where she was in the kitchen and said, "Hey, Mom, good morning. I haven't slept much last night. I've been thinking a lot of something that's very important for me, for my career. And I have realized that I simply don't want to be a CEO. I don't think I have the qualities required to be a leader." And she looked at me and asked, "Have you been drinking?" And that's not exactly what you expect from your mom at 8 a.m. in the morning as a question, right? So I was like, no, I'm very serious. And she said, "Listen to me. I've known you forever, right? I'm your mom. So I'm the first person who would saw you. And if there's one thing I'm 100% certain of, is that you are born to be a leader. I'm not talking about being the best at school. I'm not talking about the captain of the team. I'm just talking about your natural inclination to represent others, to communicate your ideas and to inspire others so that they could follow you. It was just natural. I could see this since the very beginning of your life. So what are you talking about? What's wrong with you?" Well, at that point, I was even more confused, as you can imagine. I was confused. And at that point, the person who knew me better than anyone else was telling me I was wrong. So I was very sad, left my apartment, went to the office and bumped into one of my best friends and colleague at the time, Umberto. Umberto was like 10, 12 years older than me at the time, and of course today. And I just knocked on his shoulder and said, "Umberto, I got to tell you something. I haven't slept much last night. I've been thinking a lot, the succession plan, all the discussions around leadership. I've realized I don't want to be a leader. I don't think I have the qualities to be the CEO. So I don't want to be on that succession plan. I don't want to be involved. I'm happy to be number 2, number 3, number 4, but I don't want to be number 1. I don't have the qualities to be a leader. Umberto looks at me and says, have you been drinking? And at that point, I had 2 people asking me if I had been drinking, 20 minutes. I'm like, oh, what? Umberto, sorry, I'm just lost. And he says, okay, let's grab a coffee. In Italy, we every situation, every reason is good to grab a coffee. So let's grab a coffee. Let's have a walk. Okay, let's go. And he looks at me and says, what is wrong with you? I said, Umberto, frankly speaking, I don't think I am the right person. I know too many people who are better than me. I know too many people who are better equipped, they have a better background. They studied somewhere super cool, and I studied in a nice university, but it's not the best one. And so I'm not sure. I don't think I have the right skills. I feel like I don't belong. I feel lost. And he said, you are wrong. Like, well, that's great to hear, but why? He says, there's one very important thing you have to learn about leadership. And bear with me, because if you follow me, you're gonna receive 3 leadership lessons that changed my life and hopefully will change yours. He says, what you are experiencing is absolutely normal, and it has a name. It's called imposter syndrome. And it's what you experience every time that you leave the comfort zone, every time that you feel a bit ambivalent, every time that you feel lost. And the ambivalence is linked to the fact that, on the one hand, you do have the skill set that is required to do something. But on the other hand, for some reason, you don't feel comfortable. You feel like you don't belong. You feel like you can't do that. It happens when you study a lot, and then the day before the exam, you don't feel like you can pass it. It happens when you train super hard, but then the day before the match or the performance, you don't feel you can do it. It's just normal. Actually, it's a good feeling. It means that you're grounded. It means that you feel like you're humble enough to still improve, but you should also be ambitious enough to fight. That's why I like this portmanteau two words, that is ambition. It's a portmanteau two words. It's humble and ambitious at the same time. I like this word very much. And so he says, it's just normal. Embrace it, breathe in, accept the fact that you do have the skill set, and it's all about the imposter syndrome. But bear in mind, and this is the first of the 3 lessons I want to share that I've learned from him. Bear in mind that it's not about the skill set. It's about the mindset. And there is no skill set without mindset. Go through this imposter syndrome, move it, put it somewhere else, and move forward, because you do have the skill set to do it. And this feeling is just a transition that everybody goes through. And you will go through this for the rest of your life, every time that you leave the comfort zone, which is actually where growth is. So stay humble, be ambitious, or ambitious if you want, go through it and win it. Wow, it changed my life. I was the first one, and I was so relieved. He was telling me that what I was experiencing was not only normal, but it was actually something that everybody goes through, and I would go through it many more times in my life. So I was just relieved. And he says, okay, now we're done, right? Can we move forward and talk about that project? So we go back to the office. I'm like, no. I have one more thing. I said, the other reason why I'm not sure I can be the CEO, I can be a leader, is that I do not like most of the leaders I know, or at least I'm not like them. I'm different. So I'm not sure. I would never speak like the leaders I know. I would never act like them. I would never promote the people they promote. I would never act. I would never speak. I'm not like them. So if I'm not like most of the leaders I know, I don't think I am the right leader for this company or whatever company. I can't do that. I'm not like them. He says, when it comes to leadership, there is no one size fits all. Leadership is not a gift. It's not given. It's not something you're born with and that's what leadership is about. That's not true. Leadership is deliberate choice. It's based on who you are what kind of leaders you can be, maybe 2, 3, 4 different leaders. And it's all about the match between who you are and what kind of leader you can be and the company you run. If there is not a good match, it doesn't work. If the type of person you are and the type of leader you can be matches with the type of organization you want to lead or you're happy and fortunate enough to lead, then it becomes a union and you become way stronger and the organization can benefit from you and vice versa. So it's not about the skill set in this case. It's all about the match between you and the organization you lead. This was lesson number 2. So think about it. Every time that you think of what kind of leader you can be, what kind of organization you can lead, what kind of company's culture would you want to create, think of the match. It's not about you, it's not about the company, it's about both. It's about the match. And the match is stronger than anything else if it's good to match. At that point, I was even more relieved, ready to go back to the office. And he says, no, now I'm going to tell you something. I want you to write it down and remember it for the rest of your life. Like, okay, tell me. I said, no. Take your phone and write it down in a note so you can save it and check it every now and then. Like, okay, let's do it. So if you want, you can do the same. Write it down, because he shared with me 7 letters without telling me anything else. 7 letters. The 7 letters are O, D, W, O, Y, C, D. Once again, O, D, W, O, Y, C, D. 7 letters. So I look at him and say, okay, what is this about? What does this acronym mean? He looks at me very seriously at that point and says, you suck. I'm a bit lost. I mean, the only person who was encouraging me and motivating me is now telling me that I sucked. What is this about? I look at him again, and he says again, you suck at certain things. You suck at certain things. And it's just normal. So the third lesson for you here is think about it. Every time you are a leader, every time that you're in a position to be surrounded by people and to lead those people, make sure you hire, train, upskill, reskill the people around you so that they perfectly complement your skills. Because once you are the leader, if you are surrounded by people who complement your skills, you create a stronger union, and you can do one magic thing, which is that acronym, which stands for only do what only you can do. If a leader is in that position and wakes up every morning and says, I should only do what only I can do, only do what only you can do, that makes you stronger. Everything else you should delegate so that your team can feel empowered and entitled, and they can grow and they can learn and they can be the next generation of leaders. And you only focus on what you can do at best. You only focus on your talent. Now, I know it's easier said than done. Sometimes you don't have the time, you can't do, sometimes you got to do things that you don't necessarily like, and you're not good at. But the reality is that each and every of us is very good, extremely good at only few things. If as a team member or a leader of a team, you can focus on only what you can do and delegate the rest so that everybody is on what he or she can do at best, then you build an amazing team. That's was step number 3. So these were the 3 lessons that I've learned 10 years ago, walking with a friend and a colleague. Once again, number 1 is it's not about the skill set, it's about the mindset, and there is no skill set without mindset. The second one, leadership is not a one-size-fits-all game. It's all about the match between who you are and the company you want to run. And the third one, only do what only you can do. If you can make these things yours, if you can embrace that, if you can build on that, trust me, they will have a huge impact on who you are as a person, who you are as a leader. Please do it. Not tomorrow, not the day after tomorrow, tonight, now. Because they had a profound impact on my career. And I'm 100% sure they will not only have a profound impact on your life and your career, but they will make you the best version of yourselves. Thank you.
Wow, thanks, Giuseppe. That's truly inspiring. And that's exactly what a leader does, by the way, adds value to others and lifts them up. Really appreciate this wonderful story. Yeah, I think there are so many things to talk about. Now we are going back to the breakout rooms for the Q&A session. So Innocent is going to room 1 and Giuseppe is going to be in the room 2. So please join the rooms and if you have questions to our speakers, and we'll be back in 15 minutes.
I'm not seeing that problem. Hi, Dr. Nisha, how are you?
Hey, I'm doing very well. Thank you. You're welcome.
It was amazing session. Really, since the beginning, it's really amazing session. Amazing experience. So my question is that, like, how to become the leader? How to become a boss? What the skills you need to do? Can you please explain?
If you become a boss,
Yeah, how to become the leader? Innovation. How to get it? Because I'm living in Saudi Arabia in my 50s. It is incredible for me to join this session on this youngster session.
yeah. So the thing about leadership is that a lot of people see leadership as some very complex thing out of their imaginations. But the first thing that you need to understand in leadership is for you to, first of all, if you become a leader, you own that responsibility that I have been entrusted with the ability, to manage the people that I have been provided to manage, right? And it's an opportunity as well as a challenge.
Correct.
Now, when you accept that opportunity and own it as a responsibility that, okay, now I have to do this. First of all, what will make you successful is understanding that you are now responsible to manage a particular group of people to achieve your collective goals. It's no longer about you now.
Correct.
It's about having clarity of what needs to be achieved and then checking within the team members that you have to manage each person's capabilities, each person's skill set, each person's individual characteristics, and fusing these characteristics into aligning them to the goals that you have to achieve and empowering each person to be able to deliver at their best based on their own characteristics. There are some people who might be introverts. If you want to go and give them extrovert roles, they might do bad at that. As a leader, you need to understand those who are introverts and find the introverted roles and empower them to be able to be their best at doing that and give them the authority to do that without doing so much micromanagement.
I see. Thank you, Doctor. Thank you very much for your answers. It's really helpful to me. Thank you very much.
Now, for those who try to channel more extroverted roles to them, what this does for you as a leader is that you're making everybody comfortable in their own space, and they
Yes,
are
yes.
also being empowered to deliver within their comfort zones. If you
Correct,
do
correct.
this, you would have built a very, very formidable team. Everybody trying to, prove to you that they are able to do because you've empowered them to do, and they are not being constrained by anything because what they are doing aligns to them or to their characteristics. For example, if you want somebody to do a sales role or a marketing role or a presentation, sometimes if you give such roles to introverts, they might suck at it. But the fact that if you have an extrovert in your team, they might not be very good at being able to prepare that presentation. But if those introverts are able to deliver that presentation, as like to prepare that presentation, being meticulous at that, the
Yeah.
extrovert team can actually make that presentation wonderful. And at the end of the day, it will be your group presentation, it will be your team deliverables, and it will be fantastic. So if you
Correct.
switch the role, you find out that if the extrovert team are the ones to prepare the presentation and the introvert team are the ones to present it, I'm sure you're not going to get the same result. So
Great,
it's
great.
more like as a leader, you just need to first of all sit down, study your team, find out each person's strong points and areas that they need to improve on, and continue to encourage them and continue to challenge them until they become better and best for themselves. Because if they become better and best for themselves, they're actually becoming better as well for the team. And at the end of the day, the whole accolades come to you as a leader, because your duty at that point in time is to manage them, to harmonize them, to achieve the
Yes,
results.
yes, yes, yes. Amazing, amazing answer. Thank you, doctor. Thank you very much. Thank you very much.
Thank you. You're welcome. More questions, please, or more interactions. It's supposed to be a two-way. It's not just me asking or saying. I also am here to learn as well. Hello.
Yeah, tell me, are you speaking to me, sir, doctor?
Okay, no, I'm asking if any other person has some questions that should go ahead.
Yeah, yeah.
We are here to
I'm done. I'm
interact.
done. I'm done. Yeah.
Yeah.
That guy.
Hello.
This man. I'm not serious. I can't eat all every day. What's the matter?
Hello.
I celebrate you. I know you know people that could.
Please, I'm available for your questions. Feel free to talk, or tell me more about what is happening within your community. Which chapter are you representing, or which chapter are you speaking from? And how can you describe the experience of your community building activities in your chapter? Let's interact, please. Hello.
Welcome back, everyone. I'm waiting for 5 more seconds. Yes, welcome back, everyone. So, as we come to the end of this inspiring session, I want to thank to all our speakers for their valuable insights and all of you for your participation. It's been a fantastic opportunity to connect and exchange ideas with leaders from across the globe. Before we wrap up, I'd like to highlight a few upcoming events that might interest you. First, our regional Reconnect reunions will take place in October and November, offering great opportunities to network and engage with fellow community members. And also, we are looking ahead to our February events. We'll be hosting the Live AI Harvard Tech Conference, a hybrid event that will be open to the entire community. Whether we attend in person or virtually, it promises to be an exciting dive into the future of AI and technology. And finally, don't forget to meet and greet of the Rome chapter, another chance to build connections and explore new ideas in person. Thank you once again, everyone. I look forward to seeing you at our upcoming events. And now for the closing remarks, over to you, Eduardo.
Thanks again, Aaron. Thanks again to all of you. I want honestly to thank Scotty Show for co-produce this very important project. I thank Rosario. I thank Hio. I want to thank all the speakers. Thanks Giuseppe for being present here. Thanks Ennio Tasciotti. The International Expert Forum, which was held today, represent the first collaboration between America and Europe at Harvard Business School Online. This is an historical moment for the community of Harvard because it's never happened before this date that America will share a project with Europe. At the beginning, I discussed that the new set of rules of governance of the European Commission want to minimize the public debt to reach out the ratio defined by the Pact and Stability Group. The White House agenda has to minimize the public debt. The goal is the same. Harvard Business School Online represents the most powerful community where experts across the world in many sectors share their thoughts, their theory, and their expertise. Harvard Business School Online represents a bridge between America and Europe, a bridge between these extremely high value of expertise, like the expert forum today at Shootout. Because of that, I do trust that this platform represents the biggest arena which allow the public institution represented by the White House and the European Commission to reach out their agenda, which is the same. Thanks to all of you. Stay connected. An amazing event is coming next for the next time. Thanks again.
All right. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you, Eduardo. Thank you, Scott, for organizing this.
Yeah, thank you, Dr. Ennio Tasciotti, Mana Rafiq,
Eduardo.
Giuseppe Stiliano, and Dr. Innocent Ugwoke. Sorry, Mana, I didn't mean to speak over you.
No, that's fine. Thank you so much for organizing this.
Absolutely. Thank you to all of you for being here. For anyone who wants to see the details we just announced, I'm going to share my screen. Everything is listed in the Google Doc, so you can check that as well. But anyone who wants to see the upcoming events, well, it doesn't all fit on one screen, but you can see here's the Rome after party. So if you're in Rome, or if you're able to catch a very quick Ryanair flight, please go join Eduardo De Paulis at the Hoxton Rome. I'm sure there's a lot of people already on the way or eager to get dressed to get going. And yes, we will have regional Reconnect reunions, New York City, London, and Taipei. We will have more details coming soon. I just decided last night to also mention we will have Secret Santa Christmas parties. More details on that as well. Also, the Live AI Harvard Hybrid Tech Conference. You'll be able to join us at Harvard University or online. More details on that as well. So please feel free to check this Google Doc. I will put the link in the chat and you can follow along there and check for more information. I guess, yes, I do see people have posted their LinkedIn's in the chat. So I guess, yeah, if you want to do that, go ahead and do that. I will post mine as well. Feel free to connect with me, anyone here. Some of these LinkedIn profiles are also linked in this Google Docs, so you can see where the names are linked. So yeah, in general, if you go to the Google Doc, you can see more information and connect with more people. For now, thank you for joining us. We hope you have a good rest of your day. And in less than 4 hours, in fact, 3 hours and 50 minutes, we will start the Americas session, the last of the 3 sessions for our online TED Talks, formerly known as International Experts Forum. So thank you, everyone. Please feel free to head towards the Hoxton now. I will stay here for a little longer for people who want to stay on and chat. But please do not feel obliged to stay here if you need to go and do more weekend things. So have fun, everyone. Take it easy. Thank you.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Thank you, Scotty. Thank you, everyone. Please share feedbacks and join us next time, because we're sure this is just the beginning. We'll do more. Thank you, Scotty, for organizing this. I'll be dropping off.
Thank you. Bye. God bless you.
Bye.
See you, everyone. Ranch, thank you for joining us. I'm not sure if you're able to talk much since you're a bottle of ranch, but do appreciate you taking time to figure out how to join us on Zoom. That's very impressive for a bottle of ranch.
All right, wonderful. Thanks for this opportunity, Scotty. It means a lot. I hope you liked how I did it. I think it was flowing.
Oh, it was great. Yeah, it was great.
Wonderful. Do you need anything else from my side regarding this?
That's it for now. I'm just posting a couple announcements on WhatsApp for the group. I guess alumni New York, East Coast, Canada. Yeah, I should probably post all that. Just trying to make sure to not dominate any one group, because I know I'm posting a ton of announcements today, but just trying to do it regionally. So that way, if anyone sees them in the big group, they only see it in their specific groups when it matters. That way Canada's not seeing every announcement for East and West. Just trying to make sure everyone feels like there's So yeah, how do you feel?
Wonderful. I think it went really well. We had amazing speakers, so everything went great. And you could also let me know whenever you like, when you finalize this stuff, the current stuff, so we can also work on the Secret Santa and the live AI part. So I could create some set of visuals for it, so we could start marketing them as well. So I'll be waiting.
Okay. Yeah.
I'll be waiting for the details from your side.
Sounds good.
Okay.
On top of that, so once I'm done with once the recording processes and all that, we can also. So I'm just checking something. Yeah, we can also do some light editing and all that, and then. Yeah, we can figure that out.
Okay, please let me know about those.
Definitely. All right. Yeah, it was great doing this event. It's nice to know that everything has gone very smoothly for the most part.
Yeah, now I think we have know-how about it, so we are a little bit more experienced about organizing this multi-zone events. So I think multi-time zone events. So I think the future ones will be much more easier than that.
Yeah, part of it is, first time, even for me, it's the first time doing it this way. So there's definitely been some, in fact, it's not just on the other side. It's also there's things I'm realizing, oh, okay, I could have done better this way for this event. Because the way I do things for other events, they have worked well, but obviously every event's different,
Yeah.
I can say, oh, the stage is set up just fine. Yes, for the other events, they were set up just fine, but the complexity of this one obviously evolves some of these considerations into something that, I'm thinking, oh, wait, oh, that's right, oh, that's new,
Exactly.
and yeah, it's nothing terrible. It's just one of those things where I'm realizing, oh, wait, oh, I didn't think of that part, you know, but that's just part of the experience.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think it really just comes down to everything, everything, it just takes time, experience and all that. So, the more we do it, the better we get.
Yeah, exactly. Great. Okay. So if you need something, I'll be around. Please let me know.
Sounds good.
You.
The support.
Thank you. Pleasure. Bye-bye.
Absolutely. I'll see you around.
Bye.